Alright guys, welcome to another video at XF Motorsports, and well, this is probably going to be the worst video on this channel so far because we have a Miata over here, my least favorite car in the world, and it's also a fairly broken one. But Stefan, on the other hand, it's actually weirdly a Miata lover.
I like it. I've never owned one. This was the second one we're going to take for a drive. I drove one on the track once.
Yeah,
but
with Speed Academy, I believe.
Pardon?
Speed Academy, right?
Yeah, Speed Academy. I took their car out for a drive. I had a lot of fun driving that. It reminds me of my MG Midget, so yeah, I'm not a hater as some other people are.
Well, I think he's saying that because he hasn't driven it yet, but I have driven it, and it's a fairly broken car, and well, all Miatas are broken from the factory because they come with half an engine and like half the car is missing anyways, but this one is even more broken. It has a broken clutch, a broken transmission. We have to get to obviously fixing some of that. We have to change the clutch on it, we have to change the transmission, and we have to find out all the other things that are wrong with it so we can fix it up and hopefully make it a little bit better so that at least the Miata owner is going to be satisfied with it.
But technically you're getting the Miata owner experience right now. What's the saying for Miata? Miata's always the answer or something?
Oh, Miata's always the definitely.
Yeah. Well, you'll get converted by the end of this.
Hell no. Okay, so let's start off by showing you guys the car. Showing you guys all the stuff we have to do on it today, and to try to get it working. And yeah, let's start with that.
Yeah, let's get into her.
Yeah, let's start off by showing you guys the Miata, but of course before the Miata lover Stefan is trying to figure out how to actually get into one.
Fat fingers won't get under there.
And this is the massive engine you get inside the Miata. So the engine bay is already small, but the engine is actually, well, it even makes this engine bay look bigger than what it is.
It looks well put together. I do like the cold air intake mod.
Of course, every Miata has to have a cold air intake.
That's
That's placed right next to the exhaust manifold, so it sucks in all the warm air from the exhaust.
Yeah.
Not sure what the Miata logic is behind that, but that's
maybe
what
not the best setup, but that gets an extra 50 horsepower right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right,
if it's a Miata with a cold air intake, it has to have 200 horsepower.
It is pretty clean under here though. There's like, for a Canadian car, there's not a lot of rust.
Yeah, no, I think
we've
this
seen
car,
so far.
well, it's definitely not winter driven. It's a fairly clean Miata actually, like bodywork wise and everything. It's in fairly good shape, but of course, being a Miata, you do run into problems, and this one of course does have problems, which when we'll drive the car you'll see all the problems. It barely shifts gears, the clutch barely even works on it, and I believe even the biggest Miata lover, Stefan, is going to be convinced that this
It definitely needs some love.
Yeah.
It definitely, and it's worth putting the love into it, because yeah, it's a cool little car.
Well, I don't think it's worth putting the love into it, but let's see how it goes.
Haters gonna hate.
Okay, so my worst day at XF Motorsports. It's time to test drive a stupid Miata, which first let me adjust my seat because the clutch is a little broken on it. The clutch, look at this. It doesn't even engage until the last 2 centimeters of the travel, and then finally you get something, and right when you let go, the car actually starts moving. So I'm not even sure if the clutch is actually even fully engaging, and since it's a Miata, you have to rev it like crazy to even get it going because the engine has no torque. Well, it also has no power, but
it's missing a lot of things.
Yeah, and then it starts going with a whole bunch of noises and everything. The gear ratios are so small, you literally have to keep changing gears the whole time when you're driving the car. And when you have a broken clutch and a broken transmission, that's even more difficult to do. Let's see how much power this car has. Yeah, the clutch is definitely not working.
Clutch and everything.
Yeah.
What do these have for power? Do you even know?
I think it's 140, but it's 140 really cheap Japanese horses. Like, I had a friend that had apparently a modified Miata that he had angle grinded the exhaust on and done a whole bunch of mods on. And I had another friend. So this other friend had a BMW whatever the lowest one is, 325i or something. A 170 horsepower, regular crappy BMW with a lot of miles on it. And this guy, the Miata guy, was like, oh yeah, my Miata is gonna smoke your BMW because it's so much lighter. Look at the power to weight, doing all these Miata calculations and everything, proving that it's
Miata calculations.
Yeah. They do a drag race, and the 325 just flies past the Miata, even though in terms of numbers, it doesn't even make sense. Why is it like 170 horsepower car beating another 170 horsepower Miata that should be quicker? But Yeah, apparently that's how Miata logic works.
Good on paper, not in real world.
Yeah. Well, let's try downshifting, see if it actually works. Oh yeah, it works if you rev match. If you don't rev match, the gears don't even go in. It's really difficult to shift gears.
And that's probably just from spirited driving.
That's from Miata driving, yeah. Because every Miata driver, by the way, would think he's driving a McLaren P1 or something.
You're just gonna make the owner of this car cry when he watches this.
He's used to it. He drives a Miata. Everywhere he goes, he gets the same.
So bad. They're crazy money now.
Miatas?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For what you get, I think they've gone
You
skyrocketed.
have to be mad to get a car like this.
Mentally insane.
Yeah. It's painful driving it. Why would you want to drive a car that's like actually puts you through all this pain and misery just like trying to get it back home? So Stefan, the big Miata lover, his turn to drive the Miata.
It's my second time ever driving a Miata. It's cute. I'm questioning the choices of interior modifications.
I think it's missing a trim over here. That's why it looks all shitty and broken. But
yeah.
Well, the other reason it looks shitty and broken is because it is a Miata and they always look like that.
I don't know. It's a cute little car. It reminds me of the my MG Midget, which is even smaller.
Well, oh, that's a cool Rolls Royce. What I hate about these cars is, oh yeah, that's where the
that's the problem.
Yep, synchros are messed up. Rev match, it will go in probably. There you go. So yeah,
definitely needs some suspension work though. It's a little rough.
It needs everything work.
I'm gonna turn around. I don't want to die in this.
Yeah. Okay, so showing you guys underneath the Miata. Stefan is actually still sitting in the Miata because after the test drive he liked it so much he never wanted to get out of the car. So, well, this is the transmission leaking fluid all over the place, but the good thing is, well, we are replacing the transmission, but I'm not sure if there's a little bit of fluid coming out of the engine too. It's hard to tell right now because, well, everything is wet underneath, so it's hard to tell what's coming from where, but we'll have to give it a little bit of a cleaning to like clean up everything and then see where the leaks are and what needs to be done on it. But the rear main seal and stuff, of course, we're going to be changing while we're doing this repair. So luckily for changing the transmission, it's not too difficult on this car because all the bolts, everything is easily accessible. And let's hope we get this transmission out soon enough. Oh, fuck. Scared the crap out of me.
That's what you get for bashing on Miatas.
So happy in his little Miata. The best day of his life.
It's cute. I like it. It's in really good shape. Like, especially for a Canadian car.
Then why does it drive like crap?
Well, it's because it's
a Miata.
Miata, but.
So for removing the transmission, we started off by, well, trying to remove the exhaust, but a few of the exhaust bolts were stuck, so we couldn't really remove them. So we decided to first remove everything else on the transmission to see if we could actually take it off with the exhaust in place.
So after removing quite a few things underneath the Miata, this is actually turning out to be a fairly easy job. We just had to remove the bar from the side, the drive shaft. We disconnected some of the bolts underneath. Next we gotta support the transmission, remove the top two bolts, and then that's gonna be it. The transmission's already gonna be able to come out of the car. Stefan is of course having the time of his...
I'm loving it. This is so much fun. Miata life forever or whatever. Like a Miata sign.
He's become like a proper Miata boy now
Miata
after
boy.
working on this Miata, but yeah, let's keep working on it. See how much longer it takes to get everything done.
But soon after that, Stefan ran into the hardships of the Miata life. We couldn't remove the transmission without removing the exhaust, so we had to deal with the painfully difficult to remove exhaust bolts. And sure enough, even after giving them a lot of heat and everything, two of the studs broke off.
So this is why I hate working on shitty cars, because every time you take something off, something else breaks, and then it's a matter of actually fixing that. So the two exhaust studs on the top actually broke off. Yeah, we weren't able to get those off. Now the job, rather than just changing a transmission, is going to be about changing those exhaust studs as well.
A lot of shit's coming out. It's just in one piece.
Okay, that's the old, holy crap, look at the mess over here. That's like a leaking every seal pretty much.
So after that, I had to get to fixing the exhaust, which turned out to be a bit of a pain because the broken studs would not come out no matter what I tried, so I had to plasma cut a little bit of them off and then hammer the rest away and then drill a new hole so that the hole would be perfect for a new bolt to go in. Meanwhile, I was fixing the exhaust. Stefan got started on the shifter, rebuilding it so that it doesn't have ages of play in it anymore.
So this is how far we've gotten with the Miata. We've changed the rear main seal on it. I have drilled out the holes and made that proper. The exhaust, I just had to plasma cut this whole thing off, but that's fine. The exhaust flange would work properly now. We can be able to bolt the exhaust back on. And now next we're getting to putting in the flywheel and everything, and this is the flywheel that we're going to be putting on. For some reason the person bought a used flywheel, which I would recommend if you're doing this much work, just go with everything new, but it's a really weird used flywheel. It has a broken bearing here, which he did buy a new bearing for it, but it doesn't look like it's too used because all the surface and stuff, like all the machining marks and stuff, are still there. So maybe it's something that someone only bolted in his car, used for a little bit, and then got rid of it. But
It's gotten hot, unless that's part of the design.
no, that's fine. That's new. So after all the rest of the work is done, Stefan is preparing the not new transmission to put it in the car.
New to this Miata.
Yeah, it's it's a pretty bad looking transmission, but this is the one that came out. Funny enough, the transmission that came out of the car looks cleaner than the
Looks really nice.
transmission we're putting into it.
Yeah.
What do you think? This one's gonna be any better than that one or no?
Well, hopefully the insides are better. The outsides, that transmission looks way better, but
Yeah.
looks can be deceiving, right?
True. Yeah, we'll clean it up a little bit, put it inside, and hope that all of the synchros in this transmission at least are not as worn as that one, because that one was pretty terrible.
I'm changing over the sensors because these ones look nicer and we knew these ones worked.
Yeah, with this one, of course, you don't know if anything works on it, so. Yeah, I guess we're gonna do things the Miata way. Just put them in and find out if they're any good or not.
Yep. Raw dog it.
So after quite a bit of work, the new transmission, well, the old transmission is in the Miata. We've already put the new clutch in, filled in fluids, replaced the exhaust bolts that of course broke when we were trying to take them off, and yeah, now it's time to lower the car. I'm gonna fill in the clutch fluid and try work on bleeding the clutch. Stefan is gonna work on putting the gear shifter and all the boots and everything in there. So we filled in all the fluids, everything is back in place. Now we just gotta take the Miata for a test drive, which Stefan is really excited
Yeah,
about.
I am actually. See what the difference is like. Let's just check for the rest.
He just likes driving the Miata.
All right, new clutch.
Yep. Well, to my honest surprise, I'm pretty surprised that everything actually works. Like, the clutch feels perfectly normal now. Let's check the transmission shifts perfectly now. What the hell? Like, the shifter, everything that Stefan changed on it, it's completely changed the feel of the shifter, so now it's not like
No slop.
punky and stuff anymore. The clutch works perfectly normal. It actually engages finally, and like you can shift gears without rev matching. They actually work. You can actually probably even shift to first right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Feels proper.
Nice. Okay, pull over. I want to try.
Alright. Stefan's time to drive his favorite car. He's actually really excited to drive it.
Too excited. Yeah, it does feel way better. Way better.
So what do you think? Your next car is going to be a Miata now?
Yeah, if I get one for like $2,000.
$2,000 is going to be like the shittiest, rustiest Miata. And then you're going to spend like another $8,000 fixing it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, crazy how it
really
actually
good.
shifts now, like no more.
So nice.
Oh, the shifter feels so nice.
Yeah, it does.
Like a real shifter.
Yeah, before it had like ages of play in it. Like I couldn't even. I was driving it and it was like painful driving it. I was like, how does someone drive this car?
Nice. The clutch actually.
It actually works.
It does what you're expecting it to do.
Yeah. Funny thing is, you can actually change gears properly now. Like,
I
it doesn't
know.
grind the gears or anything.
Oh, this is so nice. This is like a. It's like a new Miata, man. And fifth gear does not grind.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
So I
This
guess
is wonderful. That's the beauty of Miatas. Cheap parts from part outs, and they last forever if they don't rust.
crazy.
These tires,
Yeah.
with the power that this car makes,
Yeah.
you can barely ever make them slip.
So your tires last forever,
Yes.
but your clutch doesn't.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Yeah, you can definitely handle.
This is pure joy. I mean, once you drive a Miata, I know you're different. You'll never hop on the side of Miatas, but once you drive a Miata, you don't forget this feeling.
I don't know. I've driven many Miatas. I wouldn't buy it. Like, yeah, this is a big difference, but it still has no power at the end of the day. You drive it, it's like shift so many gears just to get to 100.
Yeah, and it doesn't stall when you stop.
Well, the clutch actually works. Before this,
Yeah.
the clutch wasn't even working. You had to like, yeah.
So that was everything for the Miata. The Miata has left the shop with a really happy Miata owner actually, so that's all really good. But showing you guys some other cars at the shop now. This is Sebastian's 300ZX. You might have seen it previously on the channel. We took it to the dyno, but didn't quite reach Sebastian's power goal of 500 wheel horsepower. So now he's back here. He wants to change the fuel pump, which was the limiting factor of power last time, and take it back to the dyno and really try to make 500 wheel horsepower with it. So let's see which way that one goes. We're going to be going back to the dyno in a week or two, so you guys are going to see the update from this really soon. But also something that I'm really excited about, which is this project, which we're putting a Mercedes V12 bi-turbo in this 500 SEC, which is also a really clean car. So some parts for this one are already in, the oil pans that we needed to change on the engine. Turbos are coming in really soon, which those are the things that I really can't even wait for. So after that, we're going to be positioning the turbos, seeing how we need to connect everything to basically fit everything and make the car look perfectly stock on the outside, but have a massive 900 horsepower V12 on the inside. So this is a crazy project. I can't even wait for the outcome with this one. Also, this project, this is a 380 SL that we're putting a C63 engine in, which is also going to be a sleeper. It's going to look completely stock from the outside, but yeah, we were still at the part of making a new front end for it so that we can fit the C63 radiators in there, get rid of all the rust and stuff on this car. After that, we're going to be doing a right-hand drive conversion on it, because this car is going to be going to England after it's done. So that's why, yeah, we need to change quite a few things on it. So this is a bit of a longer project, and that's why it is taking a while, but you guys will see an update from this one really soon too. And yeah, other than that, actually some update on the Bentley. The Bentley is going to be coming back. This was a Bentley Continental GTC that we did a video on. It was in a bit of a crash and a few things were broken on it. We had to this was a used engine that we bought for it, and we had to swap over some parts between this one and the original engine to get everything working. So that car, yeah, it was at the body shop for the longest time. Now soon enough it's going to be coming back here, so we need to get the engine ready, so basically we can get that car running. So definitely, yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks. Definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.